the island where nobody had to work. In year 2042, humanity achieved what had once seemed impossible. On a small island in the Pacific Ocean, scientists created a society with no scarcity, no poverty, and no struggle. Food was grown and delivered by machines. Homes repaired themselves. Artificial intelligence handled every difficult task. Energy was unlimited. Money was unnecessary. Anything a person wanted could be provided almost instantly. They called it Harmony Island. 500 people were carefully selected to live there. They were healthy, educated, and psychologically screened. The goal was simple. What happens when every human need is satisfied? The first years looked like a dream. People spent their days learning instruments, exploring hobbies, swimming in the ocean, and enjoying endless free time. Stress levels dropped to historic lows. Reports describe the residents as happier than almost anyone on Earth. For a while, it seemed humanity had finally solved the problem of suffering. Then something strange began to happen. By the third year, fewer people were starting new projects. People slept longer. They socialized less. The libraries became quieter. The workshops became emptier. Every desire could be fulfilled. And because every desire could be fulfilled, fewer desires seemed worth having. Scientists noticed that residents were consuming more entertainment than ever before. But they were creating less. People spent hours watching content, scrolling through feeds, and moving from one distraction to another. They looked busy, but they were accomplishing almost nothing. The island had removed struggle. It had accidentally removed direction. By the 5th year, birth rates had fallen dramatically. Many residents said they simply saw no reason to start families. There was nothing to build, nothing to sacrifice for, nothing uncertain about the future had already been designed for them. By the 7th year, some of the island's most talented artists had stopped producing art. Writers stopped writing. Inventors stopped inventing. Musicians stopped composing. Not because they lacked talent, not because they lacked resources, but because they lacked necessity. One resident described it perfectly. When every mountain has already been climbed for you, eventually you stop wanting to walk. The researchers were stunned. The island was still peaceful. No one was hungry. No one was homeless. No one was in danger. Yet something invisible was fading. Purpose. People were surviving, but fewer seemed to be living. Then, in the 9th year, a young teacher did something unexpected. She opened a school. Not because education was needed. The island's AI could teach anything instantly. She opened it because she believed people needed something else. Responsibility. Children began attending. Parents became involved. Volunteers joined. Projects emerged. Communities formed. New goals appeared where none had existed before. For the first time in years, residents began waking up excited about tomorrow. The scientists realized they had misunderstood the experiment from the beginning. Human beings do not thrive merely because suffering disappears. They thrive when their actions matter. Comfort can make life easier, but meaning is what makes life valuable. A person does not need endless hardship, but neither can they live forever without challenge, responsibility, or purpose. At the end of the study, the researchers wrote a single sentence that became famous around the world. The greatest human need is not survival. It is significance. Harmony Island never collapsed. It never ran out of food. It never ran out of resources. What nearly disappeared was something much harder to manufacture. A reason to get out of bed in the morning. And perhaps that is the lesson. The question is not whether we can build a perfect world. The question is whether we can still find a purpose inside it. Because the moment people stop asking, "What should I do with my life?" they begin asking a far more dangerous question. Why do anything at all? This story is designed in the same slow-building, philosophical style as the Universe 25 narrative, ending with a powerful reflection about purpose, meaning, and human nature.